What up, homies and all mats? Should we chill. And we're gonna talk some more Ahmaud Arbry case. I want to warn all you sympathizers with the McMichaels that I don't really care about what you have to say. Ah, that's all the sympathizers. That's regardless of what color you are. I do not sympathize with this cruelty, hatred that has uh, separated and constantly separates the nation. So I'm not on the side of cruelty. I'm on the side of justice. Now, let me also say this. If someone is deserving of getting shot and killed in the street, like they deserve it, I will be more than happy to say they deserve it regardless of what color they are. Be like, yo, that was a that right there, or that woman, yo, they was giving it real, and they got it how they lived, and they deserved that. Yo, they deserved every bit of that because there are some monsters out there. And there are some people, if they go down, nobody's going to shed a tear for them because they are real monsters on the street, and they can look as beautiful as they want to, but they are demons on the inside. And for those people, no, I have no love for them. And I have no respect for them. And they need to, go. However, this was not the case. This guy was not a monster. And in my recent videos, I have stated over and over and over again how every bad thing they said about him leading up to his murder, to the day he got murdered, every single thing they said bad about him was debunked and pretty much thrown away. I'm not going to keep going through it, but just to bring people up to speed, the theft and all the things they said he stole, even the TV 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, was just not true. Yeah, and his arrest was false, you know, but it's on his record, because it's on your BCI record. Because if you get arrested for a felony, you cannot take that off your BCI record. So whenever somebody looks up his record, if they look up his BCI record, you know, whatever he was arrested for, not convicted of, what he was arrested for is on his BCI record. So it makes you look at it. This is also a way people have been disenfranchised. So there's certain jobs that you can't get if you have an arrest record, not a conviction record, an arrest record. So if this is why they ask you they ask you when job interviews and applications, you feel like, have you ever been arrested? And then you have to honestly say what you've been arrested for. But the real question, excuse me, should be, what's your conviction record? Because you have famous people who are arrested for things that they weren't convicted on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was never convicted of that, but I was arrested for it, but I never committed this crime. They were trying to indict me on and then over indict me. So if you get arrested by the police for shoplifting, you get arrested. Let's say you get arrested for forgery. That's a felony. But you get arrested for forgery, and they might, throw counterfeiting in there too. Or they might throw false wire transfer, or something else that has to do with the financial realm. And if they do that, They're going to try to find a way to make one or two or more or all of those charges stick. That's what the prosecutor's job is. Even if you didn't commit any of these crimes, they're going to try a way to make it stick. Um, but it doesn't even matter because you got arrested for something and now it's on your BCI records. So you'll never get a job with a bank. You'll never get a job in the financial realm. You'll never be able to do stocks and bonds and all that. I don't know. Because of your BCI record, it states that, you did this in the financial realm when you were actually convicted of none of it. I just wanted to break some of that down because this is the case with Ahmaud Arbery. He was convicted of none of those. To my knowledge, he didn't do any jail time for stealing a TV, stealing a gun. The fishing equipment wasn't even close to him. It was taken off the boat down by the lake, so that had nothing to do with him. He, like I said, he was never convicted of stealing the gun that the McMichaels said they were stolen. They never said he stole it, but there was a gun stolen. And then, of course, when they chased him down, they left a message on the, telling the operator or the dispatcher that, they didn't leave a message, but they were talking to him, said Andy had his hands in his pocket so he could have a gun. So it is illegal to have your hands in your pocket now. You can just, I seen a video, a guy was just walking down the street with his hands in his pocket because it was wintertime, and the police pulled him over because he had his hands in his pocket. And we know there have been plenty of people shot in the face, in the back, and murdered by the police because they had their hands in their pocket. And, even if they're walking away, I saw one video, a police gunned the guy down who he said he was reaching for something and the guy was walking away from him. We seen video of people running away from the police and, getting murdered. So I'm bringing up the police because the police protected these people because one of them was a cop, the McMichaels, the father. So one of them was a cop. So, 2 months in, we don't even hear about this case because the McMichaels were not arrested until the video goes viral. Now, the guy who shot the video was just arrested too because although he was unarmed at the time that he shot the video, he still helped track Ahmaud Arbery down. He still followed him with an attempt to falsely arrest him. So this opens things up a little bit more in my eyes because they're like, you three were falsely trying to arrest him. Now let's think about this. They were trying to make a citizen's arrest. This is what they claim. We're making a citizen's arrest. For what? He didn't steal anything, as I mentioned over and over. He's gone into the house, never stole anything. The homeowner said he never stole anything. So he's never been convicted of stealing anything. And they made a false claim saying that things were being stolen in the area, and the police found out that there was nothing being stolen in the area. So all of this whole buildup to arrest Ahmaud Arbery was all false. It was all lies. It was nothing but lies. And like I said, we see police do this all the time. We saw the video where the police tased Ahmaud Arbery because he was sitting in the park by himself, and the police approached him and, start messing with him. And he was irritated, and he was like, "Why are you messing with me?" Say, "Because there's been a lot of drugs in this area." You can't just say there's been a lot of drugs in this area. Let me see your ID. I'm going to investigate you. What What are you talking about? That's illegal. You can't do that. And then get upset because the man's upset because he doesn't want to be bothered with you. Oh, you're acting nervous and you're upset and yeah, I don't want to be bothered with you. I'm minding my business, broad daylight, sitting here in front of, by myself. There's nobody else around. And here you come messing with me, and I'm doing what every American has the right to do, which is mind their business. And you're coming approaching me. I don't want to talk to you. I've done nothing wrong. But now I'm on my knees under investigation for doing absolutely nothing. There's drugs in the area. You racial profiled me, and I wish him and his mom would have sued the police for that and sued the actual two cops who, was messing with him and tased him because that's physical harm. And I wish they would, and I still hope that they sue the police and personally sue those two who did that. Make them pay for that because what they did was illegal. So the let's listen to this report, and it's on World Star Hip Hop.
Tonight with breaking news. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation arrested a third person in connection to the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. The third arrest is of the man who recorded the video of Arbery's death today. The GBI arrested William Roddy Bryant. He's charged him with felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Bryant has said he was the person who was recording the video of Arbery's shooting. Arbery was jogging when he was confronted by Travis and Gregory McMichael and was shot to death in that incident. Bryant will be booked into the Glenn County Jail. The GBI is planning a news conference tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We will have live coverage of that announcement.
So there that is. Mr. Bryant, Roddy Bryant is, now in jail. He's now in jail. But he could, those are serious, allegations that he's facing. And he could be doing some real time. First degree murder, and, like I said, he attempted to falsely arrest somebody. They were all doing that because it was citizen's arrest, and they were all in on it. And they chased him down for 4 minutes, chased him, and they stopped him from going one direction. He turned around with the other direction, and they got in his way, and it surrounded him, and, we all know the rest. So Ahmaud Arbery did the only thing he could do. It was like, okay, well, I'm going to try to get this gun away from you since you're standing in the middle of the street, waiting on me, and you guys won't let me leave. I have no other choice but to defend myself, and that's exactly what he attempted to do. And, he paid for it with his life. I think he was going to pay for it with his life in any way, in any shape, form, or fashion. I don't think that McMichaels was going to let him live. They had already mentioned that they think he has a gun. He's jogging down the street with a gun in his pocket. And, so they were already on edge. And, yeah. So these men, people are saying, oh, these God-fearing men were just trying to protect their neighborhood. Well, we have laws in America when it comes to protecting your neighborhood. There are laws, and for people who are trying to make a citizen's arrest, there are laws for that, and the laws are very clear for these situations. Because of situations like this, you just can't randomly blame someone for something you think they did, but you have clearly no evidence whatsoever that they did this. You have no evidence, none. It's pure speculation that they committed some crime. You don't even know what they took. And that's the real thing. They don't know what he took. They just know that, their gun got stolen, but they don't know by who. They made a report of it, but they never said by him. And the owner of the house said his fishing stuff got stolen, but that was down by the lake, and Ahmaud Arbery wasn't down by the lake where the boat is. So there's that. And you made up a lie saying that there's a bunch of stuff being stolen, and this wasn't true. And then you chased a man down and pretty much kidnapped him, got in his way, so he couldn't get away from you. And then an altercation happened, and you shoot him. So the whole stand your ground laws, it is you tried to use citizens arrest, that got thrown out. You try to use your stand the ground laws, you can't do that because you can't cause a situation and then pull out a weapon, and when your life is not being threatened, and then shoot someone. Even if this guy, you're saying the guy attacked you, but you're standing in his way, so he can't go anywhere and he can't go and mind his business. You're standing in his way, you're blocking him off, you hunted him down, and he has nowhere to go. And the police are right behind you. What up, Polo? The police are right behind you because you called the police, and you get out your car and you cause an altercation and you kill him. Ooh. Polo, where you live at? Where you live at, bro? So yeah, so you can't do that. So the whole stand your ground laws is completely thrown out the window. And I listen. I'm not. You know, I hope they get the chair. And there's going to be an outcry of you made an example out of these, fun-loving human beings that murdered this 25-year-old. Oh, it's just unfair. No, I hope they put them to death. That's what I hope. I hope the McMichaels. Listen, I hope the father McMichaels. I hope he gets like 30 years. Texas, man. Remember, you got a fam in Fort Worth. Yeah, I got fam down in Texas, down in La Pryor, down in I think near Houston. Bro, you know how many people I talk to on YouTube, bro? Come on, man. Come on. So yeah, but I hope the son, McMichaels, I hope he gets the death penalty, and I hope they carry it out. So, but the father, I hope the father gets like 30 years. Yeah, no, I hope the father gets 30 years, and the guy who filmed it, depending on his involvement, I hope he gets 20 years. He didn't have a gun, but he did help. He was an accessory to murder to me. You didn't have the gun, but you helped track this guy down. And what's really crazy is your video is, if people didn't see the video, they probably wouldn't even, this whole thing would have just went by, but the guy filmed it and they, got the video. But yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping the outcome is. But I don't think that's what the outcome's going to be. I think they're going to get man too. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think the son who actually did the killing, and he shot him 3 times, shot him once in the hand and twice in the gut. He didn't have to do that. That's excessive. So you wasn't trying to stop him. You were trying to kill him. So that's pretty clear. So I'm second wave of the Rona is in China already. Man, the second wave of the Rona been in China, bro. That's been in China. I'll tell you the place to go if you want to get somebody who a whole country that is not even having it with Rona, and that's Taiwan. I mean, they are about their business, and their president is a woman. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a whole lot. She's on her. Yeah, they all. In matter of fact, they don't have no lockdown over there, no nothing. Everybody is masked up. Everybody, they didn't close the schools or nothing over there in Taiwan. They about their business. Business is still, all they did was close the borders. They was like, nah, y'all can't come into this country anymore. And that was it. They going to make the vaccine a fight mandatory because them enacting them enacting the Constitution. Yeah, we're in bad shape. Look, America is a country of opportunity, and whenever somebody, whenever there's an opportunity to make billions of dollars off of something like we've seen in the past with America, they have no problem, uh, you know, finding a way to make that money. So that's what's going to happen. The whole vaccination thing. And here's the thing about it is, not every country is doing this whole things the way America is doing it. And now we're seeing the 10th or 11th Amendment, right? Right, Tone? You know what? I don't really know, bro. I would have to look up the amendments but there's going to be a lot of those statutes broken. They're being broken every day. There are people who are, if you look at New York is right now being that it's the new epicenter. It's also the epicenter of a landslide of people who are going to prison. Yeah, it's a landslide of people who are going back into the prison system. So there's just a lot that happened with the coronavirus. It really enlightened a bunch of people on how America really works and who is in positions of power and who isn't. And sorry to interrupt your live. Just had to get that. Bro, I'm cool. There's only two people here. I'm cool. I'm going to go after I'm done talking to you anyway. But I just wanted to, say that New York is really, the police are really under scrutiny, under federal scrutiny, because they just arrested David East for weed. It's just like they're arresting black men and black women and children and putting them in jail. It is clearly slavery 101. They're just snatching people up, and beating them up, punching them in the face and causing all this ruckus and then throwing them into jail because they need to get their numbers up. So you know what? That's going to pop too. That right there, that whole situation. They just shot and killed a guy in the street, two black cops, jumped on him and pulled out the hammer and bang. So all that's going to come to a boiling point. And, I wouldn't want to be in New York when it does, because we all know nobody wants it with the New York police, but you're going to get people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and somebody's going to give it to the New York police. And you want to talk about lockdown. Once they come out in droves, once they, because, the financial district, they're not messing that up. But you're going to get a bunch of angry people in the street, and they're going to turn into a mob, and it's going to be very, very bloody. It's not going to be a peaceful protest anymore. You can't keep snatching people's family members and murdering them in the street and act like you're the shining light of the world, and just completely forgetting about you just murdered somebody's father, their son, their daughter, and just act like, nah. Same thing in Chicago. They're going to get it too. So it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a war that's gonna happen, and it's gonna be the citizens against the cops at first, and then the military is gonna take over, and the citizens are not going to blame the military for what the police have been doing to them. But and the thing about it is, all these false arrests and all these murders that they're committing, they're all, we know who they are. We, as in we the people. So what's going to happen is they're going to, be like, we want these people in jail. We want these people, we want justice for what they've done to our family. These people, not these officers over here, because they had nothing to do with it. But these guys, this name, this name, this name, this name. They live at this address. We want those people in prison. We don't want them on vacation for 30 days waiting on a hung jury that's going to, you're going to move it to another district where there's no black people and then they're going to go free. No, we're tired of seeing that. Tired of seeing that. We have a list of people who've been doing wrong to the people. The black people, white people, Hispanic, doesn't matter. They've been doing wrong, but especially the black people and especially black men. And people are just going to get sick. It's going to blow up in their face. The president is going to have, the president is getting ready to have a civil war on his hands. If he doesn't stop the people who are in control of this country and controlling him, he's going to have to call out the National Guard and the regular army, and that's going to be a mess. And when that spills over and this country goes willy-nilly and there's just a civil war everywhere, when that spills over, it's just going to be a matter of a ratio of gunshots to bodies. It's just going to be an all-out war. Nobody's going to care. People are just going to be full of hate and anger. And if you have on any uniform that recognize that, the FEMA is our president too. Yeah, I'm just telling you, people they're just, yeah, you know it. FEMA too, and all, and just the hatred that people have for these organizations for what they did down there in Louisiana. We know that the water didn't, that water did not break those levees. We know the army went down there. Well, I'm not even going to speak on it because YouTube is under careful watch now, and you can't be open. So freedom of speech is not a thing on YouTube. You cannot say what you want on YouTube. So I'm not going to say that, but we know that what happened in Louisiana was a terrible thing, and it was not an act of nature. It wasn't. It was a man-made act. Nature started, and we don't even know if that's... Listen, we don't know... No, it's cool. We don't even know if hurricanes are actually made by nature anymore because of how much, control humans have over the planet and the stuff that they've been doing. So we don't even know. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying. So I just think the nation is going to be at war. And because they're doing the same things over and over and over again. And what's that mean? Heart. And I think I just think the nation's going to be at war. I just don't think I don't think that the nation can keep up this pace and expect people to stay calm when you walk into their house and shoot their family members, which is happening every day. Every day. It's happening every day. When you walk in a house and you shoot my woman, or when CERN. Yeah, I think there's going to be a bunch of rich people hiding underground soon. Yeah, that's what I think. If they're not already doing it, I think there's going to be a bunch of rich people who retreat into, some underground places where they think they're going to be safe, but they're not. They're not. They're not going to be safe. Because they're going to get punished for what they do. You can't run from God. That's just what I think. And I think here's the good thing, though, for the good police, for the policemen who are actually just doing their job, and everybody knows that they're just doing their job, we know who you are. We, as in the people, we know who you are because we see you all the time. You're just doing your job. You never falsely arrested nobody. You got a wife and kids or a husband and kids, and you're just doing your job. You've never been on film harassing anybody. You've always been a person of justice and took the oath seriously. Those type of police officers, they don't have nothing to fear from the American people. But for those who are abusing their rights and who are listening to the wrong people and falsely imprisoning the wrong people. I think once the people start rising up and get tired, I mean, they just can't take it anymore. I think with the coronavirus and all the other, with the financial system and just watching the nation getting, beat down and tore down, and there's just gonna be, it's gonna be hell to pay. You know, get a get in shape, Tone, and get right, Brody. I started working out again yesterday. I'm not in terrible shape, bro. I can still do about 20, 30 push-ups. I'm not in terrible shape. I'm just injured. My back slows me down, bro. When it does, it's just bad. You know what I'm saying? But car accidents will do that to you. So I'm not in terrible shape. I don't have nearly the wind I used to. I might be good for like 2 rounds of, but that third round, and recently, heck, I don't even think I'll make it out a first 3 minute round going, no, son. I can't go mano a mano, man. I got about maybe 1 minute before, it's a bad deal. These lungs, boy, they're having a time. My asthma's been flaring up. It's just, yeah. I am not in the best of health. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it is that's in there, but it's like sitting right here. And I'm just like, man, I've been taking stuff, little over-the-counter stuff. Every now and then I got cough a little bit. Yeah, 52. Yeah. As long as he's fighting old guys his age, he's fine. If he goes in there and he tries to fight, one of these young guys, it's going to be lights out. He'll be good for like maybe a round, 2 rounds, but if you're going anywhere above that, he's going to be done. He's still strong, he's still fast, but it's the endurance that gets you. Once you get all these injuries, you don't heal the same. And that's it. Like, I'm still strong. I can still pick stuff up and boom, but the pain after I do it, it's just a whole different thing. I was reading in the Bible, and the Bible was saying, once God, fixes everything, he was saying that men, just people, he was saying that the youngest of us will be like in our hundreds. And he said, and the word says, if you have somebody who died before it was because, they did something wrong. They were cursed or something like that. And like he was like, children will, they'll grow. And he's like, if any child dies before that, it's because they were cursed. So just imagine you're 100 years old and you're the youngest, in the family. Everybody else is 200-300 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking it. So, most people don't believe that I'm 52 years old. They just don't believe it. You're how old? 52? I'm like, yeah. I am 5'2" years old. They don't get it. It's like, well, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't party. I don't live under a lot of stress, not anymore. My parents were two melanated, beautiful people. And the Lord has just been blessing me, I'm still diesel. I can still pick stuff up. I still move, a refrigerator or two. Not a problem. And I still get my push-up on. You know what I'm saying? I still got some muscle tone. I got no extra I got a little extra gut, but I can still, what up with you, homie? What up with you, big dog? I still get with you. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and be out, but I just want to talk about the Ahmaud Arbery case, or Arbry, and I hope, like I said, I hope the son McMichaels gets the chair, and I hope the father doesn't come out of jail for at least 30 years, day for day, no parole. And this new guy, this Rhodey Bryant, I hope he gets 20 years. And the reason why I'm hoping all those things is because if it was a black group of men who did this, that's the penalty that they would all get. One would get life, one would get 30 years. The one who did the shooting, he would be on death row, and the one who did the filming, and now that they know he was an accessory to false arrest, that's why they got him. They got him on false arrest, attempting to make a false arrest. You got to be careful when you're talking about a citizen's arrest. Just the word arrest. If you said a citizen's observation, that's one thing. If you said a citizen's complaint, but when you say arrest, meaning somebody is going to jail, meaning somebody committed a crime. You have evidence there was a crime committed, and according to the law, this person broke the law and should be arrested, because you can break the law and not be arrested. It happens all the time. People break the law and they're not arrested. You know what I'm saying? But when you say a citizen's arrest, you're like, there was a law broken. There was a statute. There was a law broken, a written law broken, and the punishment for breaking this law is jail. You know what I'm saying? A citizen's arrest, you're going to jail. And when they find out that there was no law broken, none whatsoever, there was no law according to what you said, you fabricated and made up a whole story that wasn't true. And when they find out that it wasn't true, and you attempted to still arrest this person, and it ended up with you murdering them, you have now committed murder in the first degree with an attempt at false imprisonment. Gotta say it like that, because with an attempt at false imprisonment and aggravated assault. So that's what all these three guys got, and I'm hoping that they pay for it. And I hope they don't Amber Geiger this. I hope they don't feel sympathy. I hate Amber Geiger. I hate her with a passion. I have no love for Amber Geiger whistle. Not one. I have not one. I can't. Zimmerman, nothing. I feel nothing for these people. Nothing whatsoever. And everybody else who's committed these murders, to these innocent people, if they don't get a chance to have due process, which is the way this country is built, if you murder them because they flee the scene, like the boys was killed because he was 5 minutes from his house and the cops stopped him and asked him for his driver's license, and he was like, give me your license. He was like, I was just going to the store. I live right around the corner. Well, give me your license. The cop did have the right to ask for his license, but the boys was like, no. Now, when I say you had the right, it all depends on what state you live in, because in the state of Ohio, a red state, the police officers have the right to ask you for your driver's license. However, I don't know what state he was in, but if he was in a state where you have to commit a crime before you're investigated, then a cop did not have the right to ask him for his driver's license unless he committed a crime. And I saw the video, and it I didn't see where he committed a crime, but I could be wrong. I have to look at the video again. Nonetheless, the cop wanted him to get out the car. He went to open the door, and the boys took off. And the cop was shooting him as he was driving. So to me, the police officer was wrong because, wow, it was that serious. You had to kill the man because all you had to do was follow him home. You had his tag. Just go home and arrest him. Bring the rest of the jump out boys and say, hey, what up with you? And then go to the boy's house and arrest him for, whatever. But you gunned him down, and no, so I'm not having it. Yeah, I feel no sympathy for people who kill innocent people. I really have a problem with that. I had a few friends that were slain here in Ohio, and everything in me just wants to just go off. But the sensible me knows that I can't. I can't because I just can't. I can't, and it hurts that I can't fight for my friends who died, especially my one friend. It just hurt so bad that he was killed in cold blood, and I want to, I want to, I want justice done for him, but I'm not going to get no justice because of the way the system is built, So this is what it is, and this was this year. This year. So, I mean, there are still people out here, godless people, who will do you in. And they are part of the system that is set up to protect us. It's like, it's just a wicked, wicked, wicked system that we're in, where justice is a lie. It is a lie. And the people who are supposed to protect the citizens who pay into this, they are not for your interest. They are for the interest of money. And that's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. They're for the interest of money. So, and anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. God loves you, and so do I. Peace.